I think this is a very important question because what Vienna is sharing here is shared among many women, but they haven't had the courage to bring it up.
Hello, beautiful. Welcome to Aesthetic Influencers, where we explore the world of medical aesthetics and the relationship between inner and outer beauty. We're on a mission to empower 1 million women a day to level up their look and their life through the Bianca lifestyle of beauty, intelligent decision-making, attractiveness, and noble character attributes. I'm your host, Marco Emilio Valle, and you're gonna love today's show. Vienna, you saw Dr. Shepard for a very special procedure. You had a labiaplasty done. Walk us through what that whole journey's been like.
So from the beginning, before I met her, I had always struggled with just being different. I had my lady parts where I felt uncomfortable with them. There was always some type of agitation or infections, yeast infections, and they were very prominent. I mean, I would say once every 2 months since puberty. So I didn't really know that there was a surgery that could help for that. I had met with my regular gynecologist and I told her about my issues. I saw her for about a year having the ongoing problems of the infections, and she recommended Dr. Shepard, that she was really good as far as doing labiaplasties and stuff like that. So I went in to visit Dr. Shepard. The first appointment I had, she explained everything, how it would go. My only problem was like the cost aspect. When I was able to finally afford to get the surgery done, it completely changed my life. I was able to go out feeling confident, wear bathing suits that I wasn't able to wear before, wear gym attire and not get agitation and the yeast infections. I don't think I've had one since I had the labiaplasty done. So it's been awesome.
And so how common is this among your clients that you see, doctor?
I think this is a very important question because what Vienna is sharing here is shared among many women, but they haven't had the courage to bring it up. So when we think of the labia in general, they come in different sizes, variations. A lot of times they're asymmetrical, and that's okay. However, when there are labia that are interfering with daily activities, daily life, and for some people, just a cosmetic perspective, I think that so many women do have issues with their labia, but unfortunately, we have a stigmatization in society, as well as them feeling some shame at wanting to discuss this, but it is actually under-recognized, I would say, in the community of women who feel this way about their labia.
And so, doctor, what has your experience been with regard to yeast infections, other side effects, etc.?
Yeah, when you think of the labia, generally the pelvic area can not necessarily be in the open, so it gets sometimes a little bit sweaty, it can get a little bit damp, and some women have increased amount of bacterial vaginosis, vaginitis, yeast infections, and that can be due sometimes to the labia, depending on the size, can again increase that likelihood to get that. And so what we do find is that some women really do struggle with that. And I think that everyone's journey is different, and if there are women who have recurrent vaginitis, have discomfort, whether that's just in their personal life or in their sexual relationships, I think that it is worth bringing up and having a discussion about it.
Vienna, how difficult was it for you to have conversations about your condition as you were growing up? Did you find it easy to talk to family members? Did you feel alone?
I didn't tell anybody in my family about it. I do actually remember one time when I first noticed, during puberty, I asked my mom, is this normal? And she was just like, yeah, it's normal. But it was, I think what Dr. Shepard said about like the sexual life part of it, it really got in the way of that. And it was difficult. It was embarrassing. So I had talked to my partner about it at the time, and I didn't really get much information from anyone until I saw Dr. Shepard and she made me feel comfortable enough to really express myself and why I felt the need to do it and all of that. So yeah.
So Dr. Shepard gave you a voice, it sounds like.
Absolutely. Yeah. Her and my other original gynecologist that referred me to her were the only two people that I had really explained about. I kind of just dealt with the infections over time and then researched online a little bit about labiaplasty. But once I went to Dr. Shepard, she just kind of laid it all out, said, hey, everything is normal, everybody's different, but this is something that we can fix if you're willing to do that. So
I'm sure your mom had the best intentions for you. How did it make you feel when she was trying to encourage you and telling you that this is normal, but you didn't feel normal?
I felt that it was coming from a loving aspect, so I appreciated that. But I really think you have to be in the shoes of somebody who's dealing with, something like labia, enlarged labia, or asymmetrical labia. I think you really have to see what it's like before you can really give advice on it, right? So it was great that she was positive and trying to get me to feel normal and accepted and comfortable. But with the discomfort and the pain, that's something that you can only go through.
So, in regards to what Vienna was saying about having that interaction with her mother and hearing that from a loving perspective, I think that is a beautiful thing because there is a fine line between girls or young women or even women who have this idea of what it should look like. And that's, from societal standards. But taking that a step further into women who are actually having discomfort, pain, it's interfering with their daily life, their sexual life, that's a whole different scenario. And that's really where the education needs to come from and the information on how women can feel comfortable in themselves, but also if there's something that needs to be adjusted or tailored or something to help them in their journey, then that's okay too. So it really requires a broad conversation. And again, not on either end of the spectrum. It really needs to be a robust conversation that covers everything so that you can make an informed decision. And I feel that Vienna had the beauty of having both of those. She had reassurance from her mother that she is normal and that she's loved. But on the other side, if she had something that she wanted to address, that she could do that in the comfort and safety of a physician's office and knowing that she could get the help that she wanted. And that's what her journey, to me, in hearing what she said, really makes hers a beautiful journey.
Yeah, it definitely has changed my life. And in addition to what you said, I think a lot of it can contribute to mental health as well. Just feeling, inadequate, feeling less than. And, I think there's definitely a fine line when it comes to like going towards body dysmorphia. But when something like that can be adjusted or corrected and, a physician approves and says, hey, this is a thing that, is definitely something we can do and it's done a lot. That really opened my mind up to be like, more accepting of who I was, whether I was going to get the surgery or not, that, she explained that a lot of people go through the same thing and I didn't know that. So, yeah.
And I think that information is like critical, that you are not alone, and women who feel this way, that there are other women who feel this way. And there are a lot of women who actually can get the surgery and the procedure that can help them feel better about themselves. I mean, a lot of that, like you said, that's, spot on, that hits in the mental wellness space, and feeling inadequacy and not good about yourself. A lot of that stems from the things that we hear, what society tells us, what our family tells us. And once you're really able to see it from a bird's eye perspective and see that it's okay to, one, even discuss these topics, let alone get something done about it, I think that really completes the circle and allows women to improve their mental wellness and emotional status about themselves and that confidence. And in the end, someone may not need it, but they still deserve the information.
For sure.
And then they could be like, oh, well, maybe I don't need it. That's fine too, but maybe they're still like, no, I do need it still.
Yeah.
Right.
Either way, just present the information.
It's funny. I remember when I first sat down on the table, and I was like getting ready, and she was getting ready to look down there. I was so nervous, and I get like that every time I saw a gynecologist. But I said something to her about it, and she was like, "Girl, I've seen every type of vagina in the world, like from A to Z. So don't worry about it." And that right there just unlocked comfortability.
I think how she just kind of paraphrased her experience speaks to so many other women out there who want to accomplish this and need that reassurance. She really just gave so many people reassurance by saying, first of all, you are beautiful. You are special the way you are. If you find that there's something that you want to address, then you have to vocalize it. And she's given people so many voice with sharing her story. And then the other thing I would say from a physician standpoint is if you find that your healthcare provider, your physician is someone who you may not want to vocalize that with, then find someone that you can vocalize that with, because there is going to be someone out there for you who can help you in your journey and get you to where you feel happiest.
What's your biggest takeaway from this conversation? And what topic are you dying for us to cover next? Comment below and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And tell a friend. Together, we'll grow this channel and the Bianca movement. We'll see you next time here at the intersection of inner and outer beauty.